an age with all this information, why do so many of us feel more lost than ever before? I mean, this question really hits home, doesn't it? We have literally more data at our fingertips than any human has ever had before. But, and this is the paradox the article points out, all that information seems to be making us more confused, not less. So what gives? What's the missing piece here? So, for context, the perspective we're digging into today comes from the Heal the World Network Daily Gazette, specifically from their 99th episode. We're going to be breaking down their main arguments. Okay, so first up, the Gazette frames this whole problem with a really powerful metaphor. They say we're not just swimming in data anymore, we're literally drowning in it. Let's explore what they mean by that. You know, the article kicks off with something we all kind of feel in our bones, right? We are living in the most information-packed era in all of human history. To put that into perspective, it's been said that a single weekday edition of a major newspaper has more information in it than the average person back in the 17th century would have seen in their entire life. That's just wild. But here's the kicker. According to this source, all this data, it isn't actually making us wiser or happier. In fact, they argue that things like anxiety, bad decision-making, and this general sense of moral confusion are actually at an all-time high. So it feels like the information superhighway isn't really leading us anywhere clear, is it? Okay, so if having more data isn't the solution, what's the actual problem? Well, the source argues the real issue is something it calls the wisdom deficit. And this quote from the Gazette, man, it just sums it all up, doesn't it? A generation drowning in data but starving for discernment. It's not just about needing to think more critically. The article is suggesting something deeper, that we're missing a key ingredient, almost like a vitamin, for actually making sense of the world around us. So, to define this wisdom deficit a bit more, think of it like this. You have a kitchen full of the best ingredients on the planet, but you have no recipe. The problem isn't the stuff you have, that's the data. The problem is you don't have the instructions, the wisdom, to turn it all into something that actually makes sense. Then the Gazette makes two pretty bold claims. First, they say that information without interpretation, it's just noise. And second, and this is from their specific theological viewpoint, they argue that knowledge without God, well, it's not just useless, it can actually be dangerous. All right, so this whole idea brings us to a major fork in the road, a real clash in how we even think about progress and innovation.